Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It is a dark day in the 49ers NFL world, to be honest. We got 27 players losing their jobs today, over 800 across the NFL, and breaking it all down. I'm here with my man, Wayne Breezy, who is in the know. He's always on top of everything. He's helping me out whenever I can't find stuff. Love this man. How you doing, Wayne?
Woo! I mean,
Yeah.
We knew this day was coming. I call this day the Red Wedding. So if you guys have ever watched Game of Thrones, it's just that day. But
the Lannisters send their regards.
Oh, John is a Game of Throner, yes. But no, seriously, like we knew this day was coming. You knew players were going to get cut. I can't stunt, John. I'm surprised of a few of them. A couple of them, I'm surprised.
Yeah, there's some big ones, and we're going to go through each cut in detail. Now, here's a couple things you need to know. There are still 8 more cuts that have to be made within the next 45 minutes, 50 minutes to be exact. So we're going to be with you. We're going to continue to process through this. All the stuff's coming down. Now, we just finished the conference call with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, which we're also going to get in there, a lot of Jimmy Garoppolo news. But let's try to stick a little bit to the, I guess, the order, perhaps, of the cuts that have come through. And Clayton, the man behind the scenes, going to be updating that the flow chart underneath to keep us abreast of the situation. Right off the bat, we had some cuts. Kader Holman, Ken Crowley, those guys went yesterday. But today, wide receiver heavy, man. 3 first cuts: Marcus Johnson, Willie Snead, Tay Martin. Sadly, that wasn't the last of the wide receiver cuts. They went on, and Malik Turner, the special team stud.
I cry. I
it hurts,
to go
man.
cry in the car, bro.
I bet Snyder cried because he's the special team stud that came with Snyder. He was with Snyder back in Seattle back in the day.
That's right.
And he didn't make it, which means 49ers only keeping 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the active wide roster. Thoughts on that? We talked about this though, Wayne. We talked about this.
And I know you're trying to go in order. I'm just trying to keep you updated because I don't know if you have the latest.
Oh, go shoot!
But Tashawn Gibson safety has been released, so I'm not sure if that was in your thing. I'm gonna post that out right now.
So Tarvarius Moore, does that mean he made it?
Either him or Taylor Hawkins has not been let go yet. Don't you sleep on my Taylor.
Man, is there, and we're going to go through the undrafted free agent. My favorite undrafted free agent, Q Knight, got released, sadly.
Yeah, that was
which
tough.
Broke my freaking heart, man.
But you didn't mention Jordan Mason.
No, Jordan Mason's still there. That's huge. Marcelino McCrary Ball, still there. That's huge. Taylor Hawkins, still there. I'm not sure any of them are going to make it, but there's definitely a shot. Hasty got cut. Let's just bounce around. Let's go with the flow. Let's feel this. Let's breathe. Let's just process this together. And if you're joining us, let your emotions out, baby. Jermichael Hasty got cut, which if you joined us on our Patreon hangout, that was the biggest discussion. And I got to say, shout out to my man. Dude, I tell you this. There are a lot of people that either really, really like Hasty or really dislike Hasty. My man George, and dude, he was so big on getting rid of Hasty. A lot of people just don't like him, but Shanahan loved him. They cut him.
I wonder why, though. I wish I could have heard the reasons why they didn't like Hasty. Was it because production, injury, because he dropped that pass? What was it?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like if we look at the kind of entire spectrum of 49ers cuts so far, they do not put very much, if at all anything, on performance in preseason games. They don't give a damn. They don't care. It's what you show them in practice. And got to give a shout out to Chad, too, who's been really big on Hasty being cut. He nailed that one as well. But you cut these players that look like the best, because there's no doubt Hasty was the best running back in preseason. In the games Yeah. So how that was something that just got overlooked. Kamiko Toure, I think the best 49er player, period, regardless of position, offense, defense, all 3 games of the preseason. They moved on from him.
I thought you stay with edge rushers. I thought if you're going to go one extra, it's the edge. I don't know what he did that would be in the negative for him to get cut, because he clearly was productive in every preseason game. Now, the question was he productive in practice? Because if that's the case that we're going with, that's what we need to find out.
The way that I saw it is this. You remember the last person they brought in was Kamiko Toure right before the draft.
He was right before.
And then you had Drake Jackson fall to 61.
Bingo.
And I've said, like, if they would have known they were going to get Drake Jackson, they probably wouldn't have paid Kamiko Toure. But they didn't know. They had no clue. So that kind of made him expendable. Then nobody got hurt.
Casualty. Yeah, he was an expendable.
Yeah,
but John, he had every opportunity to go out there. Now, me personally, I might have taken him over Kerry Hyder. I might have taken him over Kerry Hyder. I do understand that Kerry Hyder provides us versatility. They're going to get him to go inside. I think Charles Omenihu is going to be the best at that from the outside the end. He's going to play that Arden Key role. But I still think Kamiko Toure was one of the best out there every week.
And yeah, practice preseason game, you had to talk about the hustle award, right arm award, as I think it said 3 most common winners: Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Kerry Hyder. The preseason games, Kamiko Toure present the value over games or preseason games, right? Stick to that team, and whether I agree with it's totally different. Kamiko Toure probably should have been on the. They're keeping 10. They're freeing up spots. And one of the spots freeing up, Brock Purdy is making this roster despite Garoppolo being that quarterback.
So, John, your connection is going in and out, and right now you sound like Vicky the robot from Small Wonder or the robot from George Jetson. Either way, you were sounding like a robot, but it was funny. So I didn't get a chance to hear anything that you said. I could just smile because that's what I do. But if you don't mind repeating it, because you look good to go now. I do.
All right. Sorry about that. I'll say this. It seems like they're only going to keep 10 roster spots at the defensive line position. And they're freeing up spots at other positions like quarterback. Brock Purdy seems like he's going to be kept on this roster.
That's 3.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, listening to Kyle Shanahan talk, this is what he said, bro. He said that we were high on Nate Sudfeld, and then came Brock Purdy, and he was just the better person, better option. Then he also said this. You ready for this? I don't know if you came in at this point. He said that Brock Purdy was going to be the number 2 quarterback for the 49ers, and then the Jimmy Garoppolo situation happened. How cool is that? How cool is that? Mr. Irrelevant himself, who clearly looked better on the football field, looked more decisive, was able to extend plays, was able to throw on the run. And you want to know what he did the best, John? 2-minute, 4-minute. Best.
It's interesting because here's the thing with Shanahan. He values people that can run his scheme like so much. And shout out to freaking Nick Mullins, who made the team for the Vikings. Kellen Mond got cut. Manning got cut.
Okay.
So yeah, he made the roster up there. It's very Nick Mullins-esque move that you fall in love with somebody, and yeah, it's weird. It's very, very weird. But shout out to Brock Purdy. And the reason why you keep 3, and the reason why you redid this whole Jimmy G deal, now you could trade Jimmy G in the season if something happens and you still have your backup quarterback. And it's a meritocracy because you paid Nate Sudfeld $2 million.
You're preaching.
And if he doesn't get claimed, 49ers just lose $2 million in cap space. Gone.
I bet it's $2 million.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about $10 million. We're talking about
that's small change for us, man.
I mean, not for us, that's a lot of money. For them, what's $2 million? Like, you know what I'm saying? And what's the odds of him clearing waivers? Not waivers. What's the odds of him not getting picked up and they sign him to the practice squad? He's been released, so he doesn't have to clear waivers. He can just sign to the practice squad.
Yeah, and the problem with that is you still get that money you don't get back, but
No,
that's okay.
do you have
The
to sign him to
49ers have
more
a lot.
money, John? Do he get paid more?
Yes, if he clears, his contract is gone, right? So if nobody picks him up and nobody chooses to take that contract by tomorrow at 1 p.m., then it's like he's free agent and he just has to do a brand new deal.
Okay.
So by the 49ers releasing him, if nobody claims him within the next 24 hours, his contract basically starts over. So all that dead money, he gets the full $2 million. Then we'd have to sign him back on whatever it would take to get him to the practice squad.
Understood. So he would get double money.
Correct.
Now, let me ask you this. If you're Nate Sudfeld, isn't that a win-win?
Love it for the player. I think he would prefer to be on the roster, but yeah,
Hey.
somebody's getting paid twice here.
Okay.
Somebody's getting paid twice.
Okay. All right. I had to ask that question because it doesn't seem like it's a bad damn idea for Nate Sudfeld. All right. So I didn't make the roster. No problem. I won't get that roster bonus. But you know what? How about you pay me bonus for signing me to the practice squad? Plus, I'm sitting on $2 million, and he would be the back that then he would become the emergency quarterback.
Yeah, and Coach Cruz, he says right here, there's got to be some trades brewing. Trades are still coming down the pipeline, but none for the 49ers yet, which is a shock to me.
They don't want to get rid of players.
This trade is incredible. I hate the Cardinals and I hate their offseason. I thought they have had 2 back-to-back really good deals.
What did they do?
They got Trayvon Mullen, the 2019 second-round pick from the Raiders, and they didn't really give up really anything. I think that they gave up like a late 6th round pick, I believe. It's a conditional 7th that could become a 6th. So nice pickup by the Cardinals, who had some corner issues. And man, shout out to the Raiders, who have just been the worst run front office for a decade now. 6 of their first round picks within a 3-year span, all of them complete busts.
Wow.
Anyway, let's focus on
because I don't think Alex Leatherwood would be a bust in our system. Can you please talk a little bit about that?
Now, you can't pick him up because if you pick him up, you take his contract. So he's got to clear. Then you bring him in. And I'd be totally cool with that. At a guard, he can only play guard. He cannot play tackle.
John, I feel like you let Jason Poe go.
Yeah.
He still needs to develop. I get it. So that means you're telling me that we're sold that Daniel Brunskill is going to be to carry the load for this team.
Everywhere,
John.
Everywhere.
Center, guard, tackles. So you're banking on an unhealthy Daniel Brunskill. John, I'm confused because I feel like we're lacking in the guard position. Did you watch the last preseason game? Our guards weren't the issues, but they were the issues due to the tackles. But can you imagine if Aaron Banks and Spencer Burford, and a lot of people say that Daniel Brunskill is going to start over Burford. But what do we do? Who's that guard? So it can't just be Brunskill. If we're going to keep 8 linemen.
Nick Sakell has not been released yet.
He has not been released yet, and this is one of your guys.
Jalen Moore has not been released. Colton McKivitz has not been released. All guys who have played guard for the 49ers.
You see what they're doing? They got the versatile guys, right? Mm-hmm. Zakil, tackle, guard. Moore, tackle, guard, or guard, tackle, whatever order you want to put it in. So the 49ers are going to have to release one of these guys.
Yeah, there's still more cuts. We have, I believe, 8 more cuts that have to be made within the next 39 minutes. So buckle up, baby. We're not going anywhere. We're processing through this real time as we look past to the guys that have been let go, deal with the active cuts as they come through, and help us understand what to look forward to. So if we're sticking with, let's talk through some more cuts. Tariq Castro-Fields.
I had him as a cut.
I had him as a cut as well. Continues to make the same mistakes tackling wise. Again, just a little too much separation on some routes, but it's very promising. I fully expect him to be on this practice squad.
Absolutely. All he has to do is clear his waivers, right? And once he does that, I guarantee you he will be on this practice squad.
And he was the first and only, I believe, as I look through this list, 49ers draft pick who has been cut so far. So he's the only one that was a draft pick this year. He was picked in the 6th round that has not made it yet. Brock Purdy made it as the 7th rounder, which, golly, that's crazy. That's crazy amazing to me.
But John, you also got to talk about the position. There's just too much depth. at the cornerback spot. And my 5 guys are those 5 guys that they chose to keep. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people are like, oh, give me Castro Fields over Ambry Thomas. Ambry's having a terrible camp or whatever or whatnot. Contraire, Moon Frere. Hold your horses. First of all, you had to know that Ambry wasn't going to get cut when Kyle Shanahan said that he was hurt. That right there should have let you know. Now, what I do expect, and John, walk me off the ledge for this one, because that's something me and Coach say. I think Ambry goes straight to the IR. I don't think he's healthy. I've not heard about his injury. He has a bone bruise. We haven't heard much about it. Keep going forward. And I think he goes straight to the IR, which means guess who might come back? A Castro Fields, a Jason Poe, like
Quantrez Knight.
But the thing with Quantrez is I think Diamador Lenore messed his chances up.
Demo looked great, and he's kind of doing the same thing. Knight was going to be the backup slot, but Demo showed he could do it. Yeah, that was rough. Jeff, I appreciate the comment. Thank you for the contribution, my friend. He says, any potential waiver wire pickups you like? OJ Howard at tight end 3, Leatherwood for guard, Tart reunion at strong safety. The first thing that comes to mind for me, got to clear waivers first. I don't want to pick up OJ Howard or Leatherwood or Tart to expend somebody on the roster already. Maybe Tart over Tarvarius Moore. I would be okay with that one. But I think Dwelly's earned his spot at tight end 3. And Leatherwood, I don't want over Nick Sikel personally. Maybe, but I don't know, man. Nothing that I'm just like, ooh, gotta have it.
I just was high on him coming out during his draft. He coming out of Alabama, and if you didn't watch the Alabama footage where he seemed like he was going to be prominent in the NFL, and you only focus on the Raider tape, I understand. But again, he went to the Raiders. Yeah. I think him under Chris Forster could be something totally different. And so, yeah, you've seen Zakel, but we haven't seen Leatherwood. But I think they're going to have to figure that out. We talked about our guard position. I don't even think Mike McGlinchey looks healthy. And that's scary. That's more scary than the guards.
Yeah. Oh, man, another surprise cut that just came down. Texans cut Max Sharping, who's an offensive lineman that I think could fit, again, another guy. There's a lot of interior guys. You pose who you want on the practice squad, but, again, you're looking at some of those things that come down. That's another name. Just names to keep an eye on, right? And it's not just the 49ers. Every single team in the NFL needs offensive line help. There is no team in the NFL that's like, you know what? We've got our 8 offensive linemen, 9 offensive linemen, and we're in love with them all. No, probably one of the biggest areas devoid of talent is the offensive tackle position. Not just the Niners. Not just McCole Hardman got cut? No way. He got cut.
Speaking of McCole Hardman, the Chiefs also released veteran center Austin Rader. And so there's a center out there who might be an upgrade. I'm just saying.
McCole Hardman got cut. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. He's gone.
Sky Moore to the freaking moon, man.
Sky Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster. I wouldn't mind having McCole Hardman speed on this team.
He fits what we want.
He
fits what we want. That's all that there is to it. Now, also do want to remind everybody, we're giving away 2 tickets to the 49ers home opener game live on this show, baby. So 2 great tickets, lower level 20-yard line tickets to the 49ers versus Seahawks. So stay tuned to that. We already got the winner picked. And again, if you have missed on those giveaways, that's okay. We do stuff all the time. That's all the hashtag CCs you guys keep seeing in the chat. We'll announce that here in a little bit. But yeah, so that we're going to be giving that out as well. Now, some of these other cuts, JaMychal Hasty, we talked about him. Sagan Olabi, the undrafted free agent, who I thought was good.
But Ball was balling.
But yeah,
Ball was
Curtis
balling.
Robinson's still out there, and Marcelino McCrary Ball, neither which have been released yet.
I would release Robinson because of injury. He's not healthy right now, and I think you let him go. You bring on Ball. And then you try to get, if you can get him back on the squad, you get him back on the squad. Remember, we can keep 10 veterans on the practice squad now?
6
veterans and then 10 of the guys.
Correct.
Gotcha. I had the number. Okay. So, yeah. So he could be a vet.
Yeah.
Now, does vets mean players that haven't accrued 4 seasons, correct?
Or more, yes. Past 3 is the language they use for practice squad. So if you have 3 or less accrued seasons, then you count as one of the 10.
Well, that's
if you have more
important
than that,
because
you get 6.
Jermichael Hasty would be not a vet, right?
Let me look. That's a great question. Let me check out his contract situation.
I guess I should have had.
No, this is great. This is what we're doing this for. And again, these are the great questions that we can have, because what counts and what doesn't. Now, Hasty came out and said yesterday, oh, he's only got 1 accrued season.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Kyle Shanahan has been strategically using him. I'm trying to tell you what Kyle does. They don't want to listen to us, bro. Kyle will say, oh, you had a good game. All right, now you're hurt. Go sit on the IR. That's what he does. Look at his trajectory.
I love it, man. And, Hasty came out this week and said, hey, if I get cut, I'm going to be on another team somewhere. And so he's somebody that showed out, and I'm rooting for him. I like the dude. Clayton, what do we got, man, behind the scenes?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to be with you. Just wanted to come in real quick and just give a little update on that Mecole Hardman story. It is not a story. It was fake. It was just one of those Twitter things they got us all. So he is still on the Kansas City Chiefs. For the
it didn't make sense to cut them. That's a weapon.
Not at all. Yeah.
And he's still cheap. Like, I didn't understand that cut.
Yeah,
no,
it didn't make any sense to me either. I didn't see it on any of the verified things, but I kept seeing it in the chat. Clayton, you're the man. Thank you for keeping us clean. Appreciate that, my friend.
Ooh, yeah.
That is awesome. Now, other cuts, the Barnacle. Number 27, Dante Johnson. He didn't make it.
John, you knew that, right?
And he coming back too. You know that.
Oh,
right?
He'll be back tomorrow. 100%. That boy got a future contract right now with the 49ers. I can tell you that right now. And every fan will be just as happy. It was just taking up the spot. They got to trim the number down in less than 31 minutes.
Yep. It's coming, man. There's no doubt about it. And again, I'm just sitting over here making sure refresh it so that we can deal with all these that come out. It's a lot, And I thought Dante Johnson, once his ribs got hurt, which Quantrez Knight started playing in that position as well. It just was like, you know what? One, who's going to claim Dante Johnson? Well, one, he can't be claimed. He's a free agent. He has 20 accrued seasons. So, yeah, he's a guy that could come back because remember, Jimmy Ward's making the active roster. He counts as a roster spot, but he's going straight to PUP. And so once he goes to PUP, you get to bring somebody back, and it's probably going to match up with that position group, whether it's Tayshaun Gibson. Again. Okay, so Jimmy Ward counts as a 53.
I thought he was going to the IR.
He is, but you have to count on the initial 53 before you can go to IR. If you put him on an IR before
you said
that,
PUP, though. That's why.
Did I? My bad. Yeah. So incorrect there. He's going to short-term IR, and then eventually that same day they're going to bring somebody back. Do you bring back Tayshaun Gibson? Do you bring back Dante Johnson? Do you bring back Quantrez Knight? Tanner Hudson's still out there as well. He can make this roster. I
think Tanner Hudson signed to the Giants.
Oh, dang, I did again. Taylor Hawkins. Man, I've done that 5 times this offseason. These dang undrafted guys. I keep mixing them up. That's
the cool thing is, guys, if you want to know where I'm going to school, it's at the John Chapman School. So I hope he's not mad that I had to sit there and correct him because I just wanted to make sure we understand there's a difference between PUP. Listen, John, we spent 50 minutes on nitty gritty last night, like differentiating PUP and IR because Mike from Nothing But Niners just wasn't grasping the concept. But I tell you what, I still don't think he grasped the concept because that's my brother.
I love Mike, man. I love Mike so much. He's so great. He's a good dude. Now, so let me ask you, in your opinion,
okay,
you send Jimmy Ward to IR and you free up a roster spot. Who that has already been cut are you bringing back?
Okay,
and it doesn't have to necessarily be a secondary member, but anybody that's been cut so far, Wayne, your GM, who are you bringing back out of the guys that have been released?
Do you bring Hasty back?
They love
and have a stronger running backs room?
Shanahan wants all of them. Marlon Mack got cut today too, by the way.
I seen it, and that's it. Yo, listen. First of all, Marlon Mack ran over the hell of us in that preseason game. Guys, if you don't remember, he had almost like over 50 yards in that game. That's over the hell of us because he didn't even start at running back and he still ran over us. I like Marlon Mack, but you said guys that already have been cut from us, right?
Yes.
So it's got to come down to Hasty.
You're not putting Poe in there?
I still think Poe's developmental, man. I think he can clear waivers. It's got to come down to Hasty, and I want to say a defensive person, but Teray. Give me Teray. Bye, Hasty. Give me Teray.
I like that. And you know what's funny is they did the exact opposite last year, right? They kept 11 D linemen. They moved a Maurice Hurst, the defensive tackle, to IR, then brought back an offensive lineman. This time you move a safety to IR and you bring back a defensive lineman.
I think
I'm with you. I mean, Quantrez and I'm it's a little bit too much of a love affair. That kid is my spirit animal. So I think I'm, a little too invested. Like, I think he's that damn good. He was exactly what I want in a player. And so he's really big on my list there. But yeah, Jermichael Hasty, I think Poe, like you said, developmental. But yeah, Kamiko Teray or Malik Turner.
Fudge,
those are the ones.
So oh man.
We're making them struggle. Why
we only have 5 wide receivers? Like, does Kyle Shanahan not know that position right there just tweaks itself every year? I'm like, all right. I think I would take
2 tight end sets.
Forgot about mother freaking Malik. I think I would take Malik over Teray.
Yeah. Because again, special teams, all those things, him jumping in.
Bingo.
Oh, Sudfeld release has been official, says Clayton behind the scenes. And again, I think I had the quote on here. And let me open this up and make sure I get this correct on the conference call as I was typing like as fast as he could possibly go. And I thought that this was crazy. Quote, Brock won that job over Nate, but with Jimmy available, then he eventually went on to say, I can't think of a better situation, end quote.
That's
so
it.
There you go, man. And, some
man.
other quotes I had from the presser or the conference call, quote, can't wait for Trey to get started week 1, end quote. That's Kyle Shanahan. And probably my favorite quote of the entire show. Quote, this is Kyle Shanahan. Quote, competition always pushes people, but Trey doesn't need pushing.
That's it.
This was, oh my God, Jimmy Garoppolo is available as a backup quarterback, end quote.
That's it. It was a, I don't want to jump into that, steer into that ship yet, but it was that, oh my gosh moment. This guy is still available. No team really came to get him. We got to figure this out.
Yep.
Now, I think there's some other stipulations to it. I think the 49ers did this for other various reasons as well. We could talk about that in a little bit, but if you got a starting quarterback just chilling, nobody's coming. You might as well try to figure out how to make sure he's on your roster after making it clear. Now, if you listen to Kyle, they made it clear over and over again, and Jimmy agreed. And Trey, and so he said that Jimmy and Trey knew. I don't know if he said any of the other players knew, but they talked to Jimmy and Trey, and that was what's most important.
Yeah, and not only was Trey cool with it, obviously Jimmy was, because this helps him long term. He got the no tag deal, he got the no trade deal added in there. So his next year's got to be kind of set and safe, where he's got to get to pick a team at the start of free agency instead of right before the preseason. But on top of that, they lowered Jimmy's pay right below Trey Lance's. So by dollars, Trey's the starting quarterback. The team, everybody's sitting there saying Trey's the starting quarterback. It just seems so simple. It really, really does. You keep Brock Purdy. I don't like keeping 3 quarterbacks, but you do, because the plan still is, if something comes of, fruition, Jimmy's out the door. And it's not, Jimmy, we're sending you to the Texans or to the Giants. It's, if something happens, I saw somebody put in the chat earlier, if, Cleveland goes 0-2, maybe that's a spot, but I don't think so. I think Jimmy wants to go to a place where he has a legitimate, decent roster. He don't want to go play for Seattle. Are you kidding me? Why would you want to go there? Correct. You're not going to be successful.
You're correct.
Win-win-win. I like this. I like it. Now, couple other things. Jordan Mills got cut. Alfredo Gutierrez, who's such an awesome story, the international player exemption, he got cut. Doubt that they bring him back on the practice squad unless they get an exemption, which they got last year, but I don't think it carries over this year. I think it ends with the 53 cut that just happened. So I don't think that's coming through. Justin School. So that's 3 tackles. Let's talk School.
Okay. School got schooled.
Yeah.
There's no way you were trying to keep Justin School.
I don't think so.
If
Jalen Moore looked way worse.
He did, but he also was coming off of a more recent injury.
Yeah.
And if you watch him play, it looked like he was just in his head the whole game. Like he was just like making all these mental errors and just not playing football. That's what it looked like to me. He wasn't trusting himself to be able to get to spots. And you know what, John? I didn't realize this, but I should have because I played the damn game. Football is all math, right? It's all geometry, right? It's all angles. And then you mix it in with physics and other things of force and speed, right? And so when these linemen can't get these certain angles and get to them at a certain point, they look very terrible because all it takes is a fraction of a second to be off. Bam, guy goes around you. Like, dang, like, yeah, because you didn't fire out to the spot and dictate where you want this lineman to go. Like, the offensive linemen have to control the defensive lineman. Yes, defensive linemen are going to be trying to swim, rip, bull rush, all that type of stuff, but it's your job to anchor, set, and control without holding.
Yeah, I saw Jalen Moore had some really bad angles, and I thought School was a better left tackle, but School on the right side, that was worse than Jalen Moore tape.
Terrible.
So it's worse on top of worse. Now, here's what's happening, okay? If the 49ers right now, there's a reason why they had their press conference when they did. They still got 20 minutes to work these phones. Mm-hmm. And so that's where it is now. That's why there's not a lot of roster cuts because can you work a trade? Can you move somebody? And if you can't, then you cut last minute. But there is still some stuff going on behind the scenes, and that's what they're trying to get to. And so they're working those things. Offensive tackle still a major concern. I will say this. I did think that it was very refreshing that Mike McGlinchey was out there yesterday. That was very, very important because I thought his week 1 was in question.
No. It was super important. Here's the issue, though. There was one play, and I don't know if you saw the video clip, but there was one rep where it looked like he was limping, like gingerly, like something wasn't right.
Yeah.
And I posted it, and then Dr. Narav Pandya, he spoke on it, and he was just telling you about because remember he had what was the initial injury? Forgot. Was it
the hamstring? His quad came off.
His quad, right?
Quad tear.
And so he felt like in recovering from that, it was going to like start reacting with the knees, and now he's having knee issues. So you saw him with a knee brace. And the question is, can he tolerate the pain? The question, and will he tolerate the pain? Now, when you think about Mike McGlinchey, and I don't like to be this type of a person. I care about the person more than like the money
100%.
Of the person, right? So I care about the health of the person. Because remember with D Ford, everybody was like, "Yo, he can't stay healthy." You're right, he couldn't stay healthy, but man. Like, let's focus on this guy's health. Who cares how much they're paying him? It's not his fault his back gave out. He played this game. Yeah. And things can happen. So the same thing is starting to happen with Mike McGlinchey. So I think at some point, obviously they're going to sell shit, but how do you patch this up now? And it ain't Jalen Moore. Is it Colton McKivitz? Because I think he struggles on the right side and plays better on the left side.
I do too. We don't have anybody that plays well on the right side.
That's why you got to get one, John. Find the right tackle out of these players that are being released right now and go sign them.
Yeah, and there's guys out there. We know the guys that we have aren't it at right tackle. Maybe Brunskill. He played really well there. Next shift. He says, how about the Eagles fleecing the Saints yet again? I thought so as well. They got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They're going to move to safety, and that made more sense why Tart got released. It just made way more sense. They didn't need it because they're moving CGJ to safety. That was part of the stipulation of the trade. It's a contract year. He wants to get paid more. Huge win for Philly. Saints took a huge step back. They only got a fifth and a sixth back. Which it was rough. Bosa has quads to spare. I love it, man. All right, now let's jump into this because JaMychal Hasty got cut. As of right now, there are 6 running backs on the 49ers roster: Trey Sermon, Mason, Jeff Wilson Jr., TDP, Elijah Mitchell, and Kyle Juszczyk. I want to focus on 2 of those guys: Trey Sermon, Jordan Mason. Okay. Now, if you can't trade Sermon, do you keep all 6 so that you don't lose Mason?
I'm different. My 2 aren't Trey Sermon and Jordan Mason. Ooh. I think my 2 are Jordan Mason and Jeff Wilson Jr. And I think Jeff Wilson Jr. is the guy you're trying to trade. You asked for a trade. I think there's the trade. Why? Contract's only 1 year. It's not a lot of money. Easily tradable contract. And you could plug him in ready to go right now. If you need a running back, if your running backs went down and you need a running back, he's ready to start to go right now. They rested him pretty much last season. Like I said, I think that was by Kyle design. I'm not going to overplay you. You just coming off of that injury. I'm not going to overplay you coming off that Achilles. Hell no. I'll give you a couple of games, but you're going to chillax. We'll figure it out. And they did. And now it looks like he's running with authority. He's running with power, precision, vision, everything. And you guys are probably like, what? Then he's our second best running back, arguably. Yeah, but that means now he has value. Kyle Shanahan upped the value. And now you can get something more in return. That's my only take on it. I don't want Jeff Wilson gone, though. I don't think that's what I don't want people to think that. I just feel like if he should be that trade piece because he would get more for Kyle over Trey Sermon.
Yeah, I think you're right. The contract's way cheaper, much more manageable, a lot more experience. I think he's a better running back. I really, really do. And the fact that Elijah Mitchell's back now practicing, that makes it much more likely to trade him, because if Elijah Mitchell's hamstring didn't come around, then Jeff Wilson Jr. was going to be starting.
Easy peasy. You needed him.
Going to be starting.
Easy peasy. He was running back number 1.
Now, do you think if they can't move a running back, they keep all 6? It's possible now if they're only keeping 10 defensive linemen
and they kept
only
5 receivers.
5 receivers.
There you go, John.
You are keeping 3 quarterbacks, though.
You answered the question. It's why not? What position gets injured the most for Kyle Shanahan?
Running backs.
There you go.
Running backs. Yeah, Debo needs 6 carries a game. I don't want that until late December. I want Debo to get 2 to 3.
Right?
Yeah, 2 to 3 a game for Debo is good, especially if we have all these healthy running backs. Now, I know Debo head and shoulders above everybody else, but not quite early. Because, again, if he's getting 6 carries a game, over 17, that's 130 plus carries. I don't want that. I don't think that's going to hold up. But 2 to 3 carries, I'm cool with that. Primetime clutch moments, I'm cool with that. But I don't want to overwork him too much, especially if you got 6 running backs. And Jordan Mason, man, if he makes it,
he has to make it. There's no.
I picked him up in my dynasty league.
Listen, he has to make it. He has to make it, because if they release him, that kid's going somewhere. He's going to be a stud. He gives me Kareem Hunt vibes. And I'm going to tell you right now, I wanted Kareem Hunt, and we don't need to get Kareem Hunt if we got a Jordan Mason. Bam.
Yeah, I think it's there. Now, before we jump to our next thing, we've got just to pay the bills a little bit. I got a MyBookie ad we got to roll, and then we're going to talk some residency hats. We got to make that money, baby, which I'm pretty excited about. So real quick, if you're going to bet this year, this is it. Winning seasons have officially returned, and with the NFL season on the way, you're going to get plenty of opportunities with MyBookie. That's right. They're back again to support the show all season long. So you can scan this code right here to my right, or you can go sign up with promo code 49ers, 49ERS, and what's going to happen is they're going to give you a double deposit bonus up to $1,000. It's freaking incredible. All you got to do is use our promo code, and it's simple. Let's say you deposit $250. Guess what? You're going to have $500 in your account to bet with, and you've got all kinds of things that you can bet on. Individual games, if you want to keep it simple. You can do prop builders. You can do teasers. You can do parlays. They got casino games. They got everything. So bet on team winning totals, who's going to win the Super Bowl, all those different things, whatever you need to do to secure the bag. So bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Again, just scan this code right to my right or head to mybookie.ag. Use promo code 49ERS. Again, bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. All right, now if you want one of these awesome hats, which they're my favorite hats. I get them compliments everywhere I go. I wore this to the Dodgers game the other day, which was awesome. Yeah, nobody messed with me. I was kind of looking to start some, not to fight, but I like to trash talk. Wayne, where can we get these hats? How can we support you?
For sure. You can go to residency.com. That's www.residency.com. I'm not going to try to spell it out for you because I'm probably going to mess it up, but it's RESID3NCY.com. Now, if you use promo code SF Breezy, you'll save $5 off your purchase. So go ahead and get them now. Guys, they're dropping exclusive joints every Friday. So you want to make sure you get them joints before they sell out. Don't say we didn't tell you because they're going to sell out.
Yeah, they do. It's a smaller company. It's a local company, and it's a really good company. And yeah, they do sell out. That's a real thing. I mean, the demand's just so freaking high, which is awesome. So head over there and get that. Now, we got to do a giveaway, man.
Let's do it.
We are giving away 2 seats to the 49ers home opener. I think the freaking value on those bad boys was a lot. Anyway, having said that, there were lots of ways to enter. We're going to be doing more giveaways as time goes on. But the winner of this one goes to @LongIslandGirl18 on
That's
Twitter.
My girl. Let's go, Matt.
She won the random spinoff thing. So congrats to her. I think we had like 600 entries. And so just want to say thank you to everybody that entered. And we will get in contact and we get those tickets transferred, all those different things. Excited about that. Now, Clayton, excuse me, almost died there. Questions coming through. Sorry, I got to take a break.
All right.
Ooh, what's going on? Oh my goodness, John. Yeah, you drink that water, my friend. The comments are really just focused on these last couple of cuts. People are wondering how many we have left to go. Looks like we're in that last 10. We haven't been getting any updates as of the last 10, 15 minutes. They've been working those phones like you guys said. I'm going to throw this back up here. It's just a rolling list of everybody they've cut from the 90-man roster. And yeah,
we're still have 8.
waiting on those last couple of calls.
Yeah, there's still 8 more cuts that I have if my numbers are right. Because the last ones that came through, Malik Turner, Kevin Atkins, Nate Sudfeld, Tayshaun Gibson. So we're still sitting at 8 more cuts with about 10 minutes to go. So, but Shanahan does this. He does this every single week where he will not let everything out until the deadline is there. He feels it's a statistical advantage to kind of keep the cards close to the chest.
I agree. I know they're asking about the Brock Purdy. They don't understand why we would go with Brock and not Jason Poe. And if I had to touch on that, Brock Purdy, according to our head coach, clearly won the number 2 job. So Nate Sudfeld was getting cut. He was getting released, cut, whatever it is you want to call it. All right. So that's what it was. As far as Jason Poe, I feel like the 49ers are sold on 9. There's 8, but there's a possibility of adding Nick Zakiel, so that's still 9 left, right? There's still 9 guys. So this could be another cut, or they go with 9 and just Poe wasn't one of the 9. Now, you guys got to understand Zakiel was a draft pick, Poe was undrafted, so that's a huge difference. Zakiel can play multiple positions. I know Poe can as well, but Zakiel is also he just seems like he's also the better processor. He's the smarter guy. I mean, it's just a lot for them to take Poe. I think Poe got a lot of reps. He got some stuff so that they can watch and they can work on once he clears waivers. But Brock Purdy, y'all, beat out, according to our head coach, Nate Sudfeld, They don't care about the $2 million. This kid, 7th round draft pick, aka Mr. Irrelevant, won the battle and was going to be quarterback number 2.
Yeah, I mean, that says a lot. And so why do you keep him? Because you are moving forward with 2 things in mind when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo. One, he's your backup quarterback if Trey gets hurt. The only time you're going to see Jimmy Garoppolo is if he's hurt. If you have people talking about breathing down the neck, why would you do this, pressure, all those different types of things like that, just trust me, that those are people that don't understand the situation and haven't been paying attention. Those are probably the same people that said Mac at 3. I'm just going to be honest with you. So if those 2 things link up, I'm telling you right now, they don't have a good pulse on the team. And I don't care if they've covered the team for a long time. They're missing the point. Because what is it that Trey Lance brings? Why do they like Trey Lance so much? It's all about the person that's up here. Yeah, he has all the physical tools. But if you're the type of person that having a quality player behind you is going to make you not a good player, then guess what? You're not a franchise quarterback anyway. It's not Ryan Tannehill. It's not Joe Flacco. It's not any of those guys. Like, that's not what this is. It's a different situation that we haven't seen a lot in the NFL, but it doesn't matter. This is Trey's team. The NFL even tweeted out like an hour ago, this is Trey's season. But sadly, some content creators are sticking with narratives, and I get it. It sells more clicks. That's not who we are. That's not who Wayne is, which is one of the things I respect about him. Because 1, we cover the damn team, and 2, we're not the people that's going to clickbait you. That's not what we want to do. We want repeat customers, repeat clients, repeat all that stuff, because we're building a community. What? It doesn't do me any good to give away free tickets. I don't get a penny out of that. In fact, I usually lose a lot of money. But why do I do it? Because I think it's fun. I want the experience for other. I want to share those things. That's why we do all the tailgates, the road trips, all those things. Speaking of, Wayne, what are you most excited to eat in Chicago?
I've never had the deep dish pizza. I mean, I've had my interpretation of the deep dish over here where I am, but I want to experience deep dish Chicago pizza, and then I'm eating every single one of those brats I can eat at the tailgate. I can tell you that right now. I'm a brat.
I love it, man. And so, just a couple things I want to put out there, which we're about to sell out on the tailgate. So if you are a person that's headed to Chicago, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. We're going to be partying on Lake Michigan in the Adler lot. I've got huge flags. I just got custom made. So you just got to find the flag. We got maps up. Unlimited beers and brats before and after the game. And then the night before, we're going to be partying over in Wrigley at the NOLA Bar and Kitchen. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Make sure you get your tickets. We're going to every freaking game, guys. We are going to every freaking game. So road game. So we're going to be there partying. I know Wayne's going to be at most of them. Croc's coming out as well. We're going to have a good time. Deep dish pizza, Illuminati's. That's what I recommend. Giordano's, Illuminati's. I think those are the 2 best. Anyway, we'll take that. Now, week 1, baby. Let's jump into this just a little bit. Man, did you watch Fields play?
Looks good.
He looked really good, and I loved it. I'm happy for him.
He looked really good. I like that you put the adverb in front of that. You know what I'm saying? He did look really good. Like, he looked really good.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good. Bear down, I'm seeing in the chat. All right. But here's my question. The media is going to continue to spin whatever. I was at the Bears game last year. Do you remember the Bears game last year?
Oh, I remember the Bear game last year. I remember the narrative of the Bear game last year. And I don't know why people didn't realize that Justin Fields was trying to do the damn thing last year, which he kept his team in the game.
Yeah, it was his best game by far.
He kept plays alive. He was throwing. Like, yeah, we couldn't get to him. I remember the Bears game last year, bro.
And I think people keep saying, like, oh, well, if Trey struggles early, then everybody's going to be calling for Jimmy. Well, I remember at that Bears game when the 49ers were like 2-4. And on top of that, you didn't have 1 first down through the first 6 drives of the 49ers. I remember just thinking, this is the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life in Jimmy Garoppolo. And then he finally turned it around on that 85-yard screen, right? Yeah, Red and Gold, he says, I'll be at week 3. How do I get tickets for the tailgate? Man, we got you covered. It's one-stop shop, guys. Every single spot for the entire season. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. We're hanging out with Navarro Bowman freaking Saturday night. Get an autograph, get to meet the legend, and we're tailgating all freaking day 1 to 5 p.m. We got a long tailgate there. Unlimited drinks, food at Tivoli Brewing Company. Going to be incredible. Family-friendly atmosphere with some food, some drinks. It's going to be freaking awesome. So come out and join us. It doesn't matter what game you're going to. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Doesn't matter. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Get your tickets. That's where it's going to be. So that's there. So my question to you, and I think I know where you're going to go with this. If Trey does struggle early, which probably is going to happen, he's 22 years old. He's only played in 10 quarters. What does Kyle Shanahan's playbook look like? Is he going to immediately turn to Jimmy Garoppolo, or is he going to grind it out with Trey?
If Kyle did that, I would lose a lot of respect for Coach Kyle Shanahan. You can't do that to your starting quarterback. You can't. No. You didn't do it to Jimmy. I tell you what. If Kyle says Trey is the starter, I expect Trey to be out there for every game unless of an injury. Let's just call it. Let's keep a spade a spade. Unless it's an injury, Trey better be out there starting every single game, struggle or not. You got to let Trey Lance be Trey Lance. This is my whole point. How else can a person learn if they don't struggle? If they're not struggling and it's coming too easy for them, then up the ante, make it more challenging.
Yep,
but I think that Kyle Shanahan has to let Trey be Trey, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, if Trey gets injured, you have the insurance plan. His name is Jimmy Garoppolo. He's costing you $6.5 million, like about $500,000 short than what you're paying your starting quarterback, and then let Jimmy go out there and do what he does.
Preach, man. I freaking love it. It's very easy to see how it all works together, right? It's simple. Simpatico, right? It just makes sense. And whenever you remove the narratives and the clickbait and all that stuff, it's simple. And whenever you listen to Shanahan, just say repeatedly, oh my God, we get to have Jimmy Garoppolo as a backup quarterback? That's exactly what it is. Joel from Sweden, look at this. Breezy, forgive me. I live in Sweden. Can't follow all the streams because of different time zones. But you can please touch on the Jimmy situation. Are you happy about it? So, yeah, let's walk through that. Thank you, Joel. Appreciate you from afar, man. Faithful from afar. I love those dudes. When you found out Jimmy redid his deal, on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as like this makes the Niners better, or wherever you felt, like what were your instant reactions? All
right, so my instant reaction emotionally is always my instant reaction. It's never logically. I'm always thinking emotionally with my heart. Like, damn, how's this going to affect Trey Lance? Dang, you already made him the starting quarterback, and now all of a sudden you're bringing in this guy who clearly they have a great relationship, but it doesn't matter because it's competition. And you know, I gave the analogy of me playing with some of my like world-renowned musician friends. Like whenever I'm on stage or I go on tour with these guys that play for other artists, and I just sit here and play who I play for. Like it makes me a little nervous, but it also makes me step my game up as well. So like it's two switches to flip. You heard Kyle say, like Trey he needs zero pushing, right? So that's not it. So that was my initial reaction. Like, dang, like you needed to move on. You needed to move on from this chapter, and you didn't. Now, logically, don't we have the best quarterback situation in the NFL? I did this earlier on my show with Mose.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
You have the best situation. Think about it. Just do this in your head, John. Eliminate the top 5 starting quarterbacks for their teams and put in their backups. Eliminate Trey Lance, who's probably maybe top 30, not top 20, not even right. And then eliminate Trey Lance and then insert those backup guys. Who's the better quarterback? Who has the best situation, the best opportunity to continue to win games?
Yeah, it's not even close.
Got to be the Niners.
I mean, Trey, even like the Jimmy G hate or love, right? People have kind of picked a side. He was voted 106 on the top 100.
106.
It like, not that that's like, oh my God, that's incredible. But dude, Jimmy Garoppolo is a great quarterback. And I saw somebody put this in the chat. How is it that we lead the NFL in yak year after year after year? It was a while back, but I want to give credit to whoever that was. But the idea is this. It's scheme, it's personnel, and it's fitting things together. Now, I will say this, with Trey Lance, that might go down a little bit.
Just
the yak might go down a little bit.
He could take more shots down the field, bro. You could tell.
Shots down the field. So you're trading air yards, which, short, shallow passing with Jimmy G, to now we're stretching vertically instead of horizontally as much. That's the whole idea there. So I don't expect that trend to continue, but you have the personnel for it. George Kittle's one of the best all time. Debo's one of the best all time. Yeah, even freaking Ayuk and Jennings, legit. Joel says this, I get the argument, but the rift in the locker room, are you really scared about it being a thing?
Okay. This is a good question because I'm not going to say that there's a rift now. But I can't go out there and say that there will never be a rift. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because if I'm Jimmy G and I know I'm a competitive person, I just know who I am. I'm not saying I would cause a rift to divide the locker room, but I may start feeling discomforted and feeling like I want to play football. And I might start letting it be known that I want to play football by my actions. What do I mean by that? Well, when Trey's out there doing something, I'm going to make sure that the cameras are on me. I'm going to figure something out. That's rift. That's a rift to me. That's Jimmy distracting the team. So can that happen? Yes. Will it happen? I think Jimmy's a better person than that. And so I think you're just going to have to trust what we're hearing from our head coach and our general manager. And I can't wait to hear this from Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. Those should be the next two people we hear from, meaning that they're brothers, right? That's what we need to hear, that they're there to cheer each other on. They're there to pick each other up. They're there for all of that. Once you hear that, I will no longer have a zero doubt in my mind. But I do understand why fans feel that there can be a rift in the locker room and some sort of division brewing, because it's just what typically happens when you have a quarterback controversy. Yep. But I think Kyle Shanahan made it clear that Jimmy Garoppolo is the backup. Like, I think he made it clear. Like, he made it clear today, yesterday. It's clear.
So, he hasn't even had a playbook.
Kyle said he don't even have a playbook.
Yeah, and a lot of it too is this: if Cliff Kingsbury was my coach, I would not be okay with this. If a lot of quarterbacks that are out there, it would bother me. It's the culture that's been created. That's the idea. It's the culture that has been created and enhanced that allows this to take place. When your team captain's a left tackle, when it's George Kittle, when it's Fred Warner, like when it's Jimmy Ward, you can carry that. Trey Lance, he ain't even the captain. And that's okay. He shouldn't be. He's 22. Dude can barely freaking drink a beer. It's the culture has been built from within. Kyle Juszczyk, are you kidding me? Like, that's the guy that's going to control this. So somebody wants to step out and pop their mouth off about, oh, well, we should have so-and-so. You don't think freaking Kyle Juszczyk and Trent Williams are going to check him? Come on, man. Silverback going to put you in your place.
Facts.
Anyway, red and gold for life. Love this. Love the show, fellas. Question: who's your guys' most surprise cut so far? His is JaMychal Hasty. Mine's Kamiko Toure.
I think mine is Malik Turner, yo.
Yeah, and
there's no way you were cutting Malik. Did you see what he did on special teams, John? Who's gunning? Tavarius Moore now? Who's our gunners?
Maybe.
I don't want Hufanga out there because I need him playing safety. Safety.
Tarvarius Moore. I think George Odom, I've seen do it a few times as well.
You think Jordan Mason plays special teams?
Yeah, oh yeah, he'll play special teams.
See?
Yeah, he's going to be the up back, and he's a hell of a blocker on kickoff return. I saw him destroy a dude last week, which I haven't got to the special teams film yet this week. I've done the entire second half of the offense. I've done the first half of the defense this morning. That's up on Patreon. I'll get the second half because we got time. We still got 10 days till the Chicago game, so we got some time.
Guys, please support John on the Patreon because. Do y'all understand? Y'all talk about me working hard. John does so much stuff behind the scenes. That, man. And I don't think, first and foremost, John's a stand-up guy. Second of all, John's a brother of mine. Third of all, he's running a corporation to post events, which y'all have zero ideas. Maybe some of you understand entertainment, what that takes.
It's a little bit of work.
A little bit. Listen. A little
bit of work.
Bro, I do weddings and I'm ready to pull my hair out at the end of every week. I understand. People don't understand that because you don't show it. You don't, it's not, it doesn't come out of you. But I want people to know that they need to respect everything that you're doing. And then on top of that, he's watching film and breaking it down. And this is great breakdowns. And so if you want to know where I'm learning from, you guys want to definitely go ahead and support the Patreon.
Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And the whole reason why we were able to start doing these trips was Patreon, because it's expensive. I mean, it's traveling. You got to pay for these venues.
Yeah,
we give away $2,000 worth of stuff for every weekend we go to. So that's kind of what helps out.
Yeah.
The James Brown of Niner coverage. I like that. Thank you, Roland. Much appreciated. Love that hat, by the way. Brian, he said he just subscribed. Thank you so much. So check it out. As always, if you do join Patreon and you don't like it, 100% refund, no questions asked. Check it out.
Hey, maybe I should start guaranteeing the thing. I just want to do film analysis on certain positions. That's it. Running backs, linebackers. That's it. That's me. That's what I play. That's what I want to do. So I have John. He's going to be my co-anchor and work on that.
I love it, man. I love it. Now, this just came out. The deadline has come and passed. Ian Rappaport, the deadline has come and passed for the 53-man roster, but these are not final. 100% not final. We still don't even have all the freaking cuts. We got 8 more cuts. The Niners are just like sitting on their hands. They don't want everybody to know that's been out there. But it does seem like no trades, which how crazy is it?
They kept
not one trade in the draft.
Wow.
Not one trade on the rosters. Even Jimmy didn't get traded. No trades.
What a different season for the front office.
It's different, man. It's just different. Thank you, Kali. I appreciate that. So here's the question, man. I thought we would have all the stuff out. I should have known better. We've been going for over an hour now. I think it's probably time for us to bounce a little bit. But I will be going live probably later tonight once we get these final 8. And Wayne, what's going on with your schedule this week, recording-wise? Where can we catch the rest of this week's content?
Awesome. So you can catch all the content on the Wayne Breezy channel right here on YouTube. All right, so I'll be going live tonight with Nothing But Niners. I'll be jumping on live right now with our SF 49ers, my brother Raj. He's about to put out his show, so I'm going to rock with him for a little bit. And then I got to go to the Apple store, which has nothing to do with anything, but my laptop won't turn on all of a sudden. No. And so Apple is going to probably cost me because, when stuff always breaks, John, the moment the warranty runs out. I don't know if you know that. But the moment, it doesn't even take a second. Soon as the warranty expires, boom. It's like they got a kill switch. So got to take my MacBook to the Apple store. But all week, guys, I'll be doing the Wayne Breezy show Thursday, Friday of this week. All right. And that's 11:30 a.m. John will be on there, I believe, on Friday or Friday, because Thursdays is football days with the family. So Friday, John will be on there in the morning. You don't want to miss his takes and his insight. And Mose is definitely a great co-anchor on the Wayne Breezy show.
Man, Mose is so great.
Nitty Gritty Niners every Monday night. Nothing But Niners Tuesdays and Thursdays nights. Oh, yeah.
Dude, love it. Absolutely love it. Want to say thank you to the man Clayton behind the scenes, running everything smooth. He has crushed it as always. And executive producers on my end, James W. 49er George. He's happy with the hasty cut. Hopefully Mason gets to stay. Right?
He's staying, John. Just chill.
Oh, gosh,
Mason is here. The 49ers are keeping possibly 6 running backs, bro.
Gosh, I don't see it, man. I hope you're right.
But that's what they're doing. Fair to God in the building. What's going on, partner?
All right, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the support. Until next time, stay strong, faithful.